Hi everybody, Coach Dom here with an episode about 9-year-olds Red Bull and stealing where they got surveillance cameras. Came to my attention this week in our local paper where I live that some young men got caught up going into different stores, and they were caught on surveillance cameras just stealing 12 packs and 18 packs of beer. And it brought back a story of when my own son was 9 years old, and I would often, on the way to practice after picking him up from school, I would stop by at a local convenience store and pick up, and I know maybe I was a bad dad getting performance enhancing substances for my child, but after a long day at school for me and at school for him, I'd get a Red Bull and we'd split it, and we both were a little more peppy for practice. So if I made an error in judgment, I apologize, but it seemed to work for both of us. But one day we go into the convenience store, and hanging up is a large poster picture of a young man hustling out of the store with a 18-pack or a 12-pack of beer. And this was the great conversation I had in the store. I said, oh my goodness. I looked at the picture and I go to the clerk, I said, you know what, I know that face. I believe he goes to my high school. You could call up my high school. You could ask to see the various yearbooks and annuals. You might be able to find that person. And then he goes, we don't have to. We'll be taking down the picture because we found out who he is by everyone coming in and seeing his picture. He's actually called the store. He wants to pay us back. He even wants to bring whatever beer he has left back and the money because he doesn't want to get any kind of law enforcement involved. And I said, cool, so you got that solved. So as we went out the door, I asked my son, I go, hey, that's pretty interesting. What did you learn today? He says, and he's a bright young man. He goes, and again, he's only 9 years old. He says at that time, he says, Dad, you shouldn't steal where they have surveillance cameras. Not bad, I said, but what else did you learn? He said, you should never steal where they have surveillance cameras in your own town where people can recognize you. No, you still don't have it right. He says, don't steal where they have surveillance cameras in your own town where people may know you, and most of all, just don't steal at all. And that was the happy moment I had with my son as we went on to our little baseball practice fueled with sugars and caffeine. And that's my story. Don't steal, and maybe just a little bit of Red Bull for the young ones. It's totally up to you, but it worked for me. Do what's best for you, and when I get the next idea, I'll be coming at you, kids. Enjoy, and again, don't let the glare off my head blind you. Have a great day. I love you. Bye now.